Well, the day has finally come. Hello, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hi. If you're wondering what the heck's going on, my name's Megan, and this is a whole house clean and reset before we go on vacation. Yay! We are having a house sitter stay here at the house for a week, and because of that, the house needs to be cleaned to a standard that is higher than our typical standard for ourselves. Now, as I say that out loud, that is kind of sad, if I'm being honest. And I haven't watched it yet, but there is a new video that just came out the day that I'm recording this from Dawn at the Minimal Mom that says, or argues, the title anyway, argues that your house should not look lived in, even with children. I'm hoping it was kind of like a rage bait title. Maybe she has something nicer to say. I don't know. But anyway, our house definitely does look lived in, as you've seen, and I'm trying to make it look a little less lived in today. And as always, we have to start with the dishes. If you're ever wondering where to start, the dishes are a great spot. I learned that from, well, several. First, I think I learned that from Fly Lady. If anybody remembers Fly Lady, that's been around for a long time. Her shtick is like to have a super clean sink all the time with no dishes in it. That's not my shtick, clearly, as you'll see, but that is a goal. And then more recently, I've been, trying out Dana K. White and her methods. And oh, that is a deceased papaya. And Dana K. White also says, like, if you feel completely overwhelmed, if you feel completely stuck and uncertain of how to get moving, if when you're cleaning or decluttering, then just start with the dishes. Like, the dishes always need to be done, and just start there. So that's where I'm starting today for this particular mission. Spoiler alert, I'm recording this voiceover. I've already gone on vacation. Like, we've already left. We came back. And fortunately, the house sitter that we had left the house in great condition. So what you see at the end of this video is pretty much what we came back to, which is amazing. Today is Friday. We came back late on Wednesday night, and today I have been able to be home for a little bit and take care of some business at home and work from home a little bit. And it has been so nice to not have to do any like major cleanups. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that just sort of cleaning as you go, tidying as you go, TM, sorry, Beth, that it would work, that would work. But believe it or not, it does. And I've actually been more mindful. Today, that's what I want to talk about, honestly, is my progress. So as we're watching this cleanup, I would love to just give myself a pat on the back, especially after the last video that I put out, which the last couple were kind of embarrassing because there was a lot of food waste. There was a lot of like self-shame and self self-flagellation, self-flogging, I don't know. Um, and yes, because I do have some pretty bad habits, or I have had in the past some pretty bad habits when it comes not only to housekeeping and keeping things tidy, but also when it comes to waste, when it comes to like just being impulsive, not planning, not paying attention, not tidying as I go, TM. I just have this long and storied history of identifying as somebody who's chaotic. And I'm really trying to work on that. Now, I have some history of trying to remedy the situation over and over again. In fact, just now I got off of a Zoom call with a financial planner because my finances are a mess. Like, believe it or not, when you waste a ton of food and you're an impulsive shopper, not just with food, but I'm an impulsive shopper with a lot of things, you're going to accumulate some debt. You're going to accumulate some debt. You're going to accumulate some credit card situations. And so I just met with a financial planner and he set up a whole budget for me, which is incredible. I really needed that help, not because I couldn't do it. Like, I'm not stupid. It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that emotionally it was very overwhelming for me to face everything and organize it. And so I utilized a professional and it was amazing. It was really helpful and he was very kind and non-judgmental. But and I'm going to tie all this back into my housekeeping and chaos. But as I have been reflecting, I'm doing this thing where I'm writing. It's called Morning Pages. If you've ever read the book The Artist's Way, it's from that. And I'm reading that right now. I'm going through the 12 weeks of The Artist's Way and all the different assignments and activities, like the exercises that the author wants you to do. But I've been doing some writing and reflecting. And one of the things that I was reflecting on is like, okay, I'm making some positive changes, but what is going to be different this time? Oh, I didn't realize that the Tovala oven holds a lot of water in that tray. We'll get back to the Tovala oven and how much I love it, by the way. It's been a huge game changer for me. But let me finish this first before we get into the Tovala. So I've been reflecting like, okay, Megan, like you have declared that you are going to make changes a million times, right? Like I have journal entries going back as far as like, I don't know, 2012, 2013, saying the same things, right? Like, I want to lose weight. I want to get my credit cards under control. I want to be debt free. I want to have a savings account. I want to start investing. I want to be more disciplined. I want to be more mindful. I want to be less wasteful. I want to be more organized. And it's the same goals over and over and over for, the past couple of decades, honestly. And so this time I'm sitting here thinking, okay, like I have the desire, but I've always had the desire. So what is it that's going to be different this time? What is it that's going to actually make a difference? And I think for me, I mean, I don't know, right? There's no guarantees. But I think the things that I'm noticing right now that feel different, that feel like a genuine potential for a real meaningful shift in my behavior are threefold. So the first, well, where do we start? I guess the first part is that I took this trip, right? This vacation. And I'm not saying that in order to make a meaningful change in your life that you need to go to Mexico or you need to have, a big vacation or trip or something. But what I think it was for me is that I stepped outside of my life. And every so often, maybe once a quarter or, in the fall, this usually happens, or around the New Year time, this happens sometimes. But it's just something happened where I stepped outside of my daily routine. I stepped outside of myself and I was able to just be present. I was able to be in the moment. I wasn't hurrying. I didn't have any responsibilities. I mean, aside from, making sure that my kids were okay and safe and fed and clothed and everything on this trip. But really, like, I had to surrender control on this trip. I had to just let things roll because this trip in particular, it's like an annual situation that we do because it's to visit my husband's family, and I don't speak Spanish, and his family, most of them do not speak English, and I am just not really involved in the planning. I'm not involved in the decision making for most of what we do. And quite honestly, like, I sort of just surrender. And well, I was telling you I got filters. I got filters for um my little K cup, my reusable K cups. So whoever told me about the filters, thank you so much, because it does make it so much easier to clean out the little reusable K cups. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the filters. Thank you. But anyway, so on this trip every year, I have gotten better and better at letting go of control, letting go of the need to, be in charge of stuff, and the need to be like as comfortable as humanly possible. Like, of course, I still want to be comfortable, but like, there's certain things that I just can't control, right? Like, I had to sit in the middle seat in the back seat of a car, squished for like 2 hours, and it's fine. Like, would I normally do that in my day to day life here? No, but it was fine. I lived to tell the tale. Oh, look at this beautiful countertop. Now, by the way, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying, but this is good. This is progress. But in an upcoming video, I am going to do the upper cabinets, and I am going to clear off this countertop, okay, in a meaningful way. And I am going to talk more about that Tovala oven because it has made meal times so much easier. It is such a cool device. The meals that Tovala makes, oh gosh, now we need to do this table, my gosh. I don't know what it's going to take for me to actually stop cluttering this table, but one day I will. And we're going to get back to why I think I'm actually making meaningful change. But let me talk about the Tovala oven really, really quick, because I really think you guys would like it if you try it. And if you click the link below in my description, you can get one for free. You can get a Tovala oven for free if you try some of their meals. You pay for the meals, but they will send you the oven for free. The oven is awesome. It has a little QR code scanner on it, and it also has an app. And so you just get the meals sent right to your door. They're in these really cool little tins, and you don't have to do any chopping. Like, if you've tried HelloFresh before, or some of those meal kit services where you have to wash and prep and chop and mash and all of that. No, this is not that. All of the ingredients are fresh. Like, it comes with like raw chicken or raw beef or raw pork or whatever. If you eat meat, if not, you don't have to get meat. They have vegetarian options, but it comes with fresh ingredients. You put it in these little trays, you stick it in the oven, and you scan the QR code for that recipe, or you do whatever in the app, and most of the meals are done in like 15 to 20 minutes. It's incredible. Like, if you are busy or if you do not like cooking, it is perfect. My 14-year-old freaking loves it. This is the first easy, simple meal kit situation that we've had that he really actually likes. So anyway, if you want to try it, I highly recommend it. I plan to keep using it for as long as everybody keeps liking it. I like it. My son likes it. It just makes life so much easier. But anyway, back to what I was saying about letting go of control and reconnecting with myself, and why I think I am finally at a place in my life where I am going to take control of my life and become more disciplined and organized and on top of my life for realsies this time. So this trip, I was able to step outside of myself. I was able to take a pause. Hi, Archie. Now we're going to do the living room. Oh, there's Willow too. Um, so I was able to step outside of myself. I was able to step outside of my day-to-day routine. I was able to step outside of the stress that I keep putting on myself. And when I stepped out of all of that and just had to be present in the moment on this vacation, I realized that it is not that serious. Like, I keep running around, or I did before this, kept running around like a chicken with my head cut off, so stressed out, so annoyed all of the time, so angry, so resentful, so bitter, and overwhelmed, and just like feeling like there's never enough time, there's never enough, I don't have enough capacity, I don't have enough energy, And when I was in Mexico, it was just kind of like, oh, I'm actually fine. Like, this is fine. Everything's fine. It'll take how long it takes, right? It'll take however long it takes. We'll get there whenever we get there. It'll be what it'll be. And so that is a big part of this, right? And since I've come back home, I know I've only been home for like 2 days, back at work for 2 days. But since I came back home, I have noticed like, okay, I wake up, I have time. I have time. There's plenty of time. Oh, we're going to check in on the pantry. Pantry is still doing great. By the way, I did buy some stick-on labels. I am going to put them on to things soon, but just not in this video. So stay tuned if you're one of the 4,000 people that recommended labels. And here's the guest bathroom / my son's bathroom. Here we go. So anyway, so yes, since I've gotten back, I have been a lot more slow. I have been a lot more intentional, and I have tried to be a lot more present. Like, whatever I'm doing is what I'm doing. And then yesterday, I had 4 clients that I saw, and at the end of the day, I had some time and I was like, you know what? I'm going to write my notes. I'm going to complete the loop of my work and finish all of the documentation for billing. And I'm going to get it all done before I go home. And I did. And then I got home and I didn't have to think about it. And it was incredible. And then this morning, I saw a client and I finished my documentation before I left my office. And it was incredible. And so I think that has been really nice. I know it's only been 2 days, but it's been really nice. It has felt very calm. It has felt very grounded. And the same thing with like my dishes, and the same thing with putting things away, right? I had to empty the dishwasher this morning of the clean dishes because the sink was getting full with dirty dishes. And I was like, oh, I had a moment where I was like, ugh, I don't want to be the one to unload the clean dishes. Why do I always have to do it? And then I stopped and I was like, you know what? I'm like, what else do I have going on? Literally nothing. Like, I have to wait for my daughter to finish eating breakfast. There's nothing else I have to do right now. Like, just put the dishes away and then load the dirty dishes in the dishwasher, and then it'll be done. And then when you get home, you won't have to worry about it, and there won't be a sink full of dishes. And so guess what, guys? I did it, and it was incredible. And then I got home and I did not have I did not have a sink full of dirty dishes. It was fantastic. So that, I think, just stepping outside of my life and being able to step back into it in a calmer, less hurried, frantic way was huge. Now, what has allowed that besides the week away? I think the other couple of pieces are medication related. So number one, I've been on a GLP-1 for a while. If you don't know what that is, it's like Ozempic, but it's a different one. I take tirzepatide. And it's been great. It's been super great. I've lost over 20 pounds since I started. And one of the coolest things about a GLP-1, besides the weight loss, is that it reduces your, I want to say like it helps reduce your impulsivity, I guess. But I would say even more than that, it helps reduce this sort of like constant noise and need for more. And not just in relation to food. Like you would think it would just be in relation to food, which it is. That is one of the main ways that that medication works, is that if you're somebody like I am or was, who constantly is feeling like food is the answer to all of life's problems, um, this medication puts a stop to that, like immediately. At least for me, it has. So whereas if I was anxious or if I was sad or if I was whatever, um, I used to eat. I used to seek out mostly like desserts and carbs and whatever. And also, I would want to do a lot of shopping and buying and purchasing and whatever, scrolling on my phone. And before that, like years ago, it used to be drinking and smoking. Like I would be a compulsive smoker and drinker. And I was always trying to do something to fill this hole, right? This like gaping hole. And once I quit smoking, then it was drinking. And once I quit drinking, then it was food. And now that it's not food, it was shopping. But now the medication has started to work in other parts of my brain too. And so I think the medication has slowed me down a little bit as far as my impulsivity, as far as my like constant need and hunger, like both literally and figuratively, to like fill myself up with things and stuff. So that has been a huge game changer. And then the final piece of the puzzle that I'm so grateful is finally working after the last like year and a half of trying to deal with realizing that I have ADHD is that I'm on Adderall. I'm on Adderall and it is finally, I think, working. I know it doesn't like build up in your system the same way other medications do. But I think my brain is finally are like understanding and learning that it's going to get the medication every day. Like I've been very consistent with it. Um, and now I do just feel, oh, yeah, that was a lot of work. But I do, because of the Adderall, I do just feel a lot calmer. I feel like my brain is less noisy. And I feel like I actually have the space and the capacity to do one thing at a time, to do things in the correct order, to not only know what the right thing is, but to then actually follow through and do it. Um, and so I am kind of in this place where I'm looking back at how I had been operating. Oh my gosh, my daughter's room. We'll get to that. We'll talk about the impact of what I'm learning on how I would like to change my parenting as well. But let's finish this up first. So, yes, so I'm looking back on how I was behaving, right? I'm looking back on how I have been feeling for the last few years, right? I've been, like I said earlier, I've been feeling angry, I've been feeling bitter, resentful, like overwhelmed, overstimulated, put out, like, ooh, I'm so annoyed all the time. Um, I'm looking back at that and going, oh my gosh, that's devastating, right? Like that is so sad. It's so sad. And so, um, yeah, it's just sad, right? It is sad. And I've created a lot of messes from living that way, unchecked, right? Like being so caught up in myself and being so, I don't know how to describe it, but just, yeah, like just being so self-focused and so, convinced incorrectly that everything is an emergency and everything is overwhelming and everything is impossible and all of this. And now that I'm properly medicated, um, and I did have that incredible, I'm so fortunate, that incredible opportunity to be away for a week. I'm seeing now, it's like, oh, okay, there can be a better way. There can be a different way. There can be a way that is not that. Like as I re-enter my life, um, my day-to-day life, how do I want it to be? How do I want it to be? I feel very lucky. One of my clients actually mentioned the book. I think I just mentioned it a few minutes ago, but one of my clients mentioned that they were reading The Artist's Way because this person is an actor. And so he was like, "Oh, I'm reading The Artist's Way and I'm taking myself on artist dates and I'm writing every day and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds very interesting." And so I downloaded the audiobook when I was on my trip and I started listening to it on the plane on the way home. And I realized, oh, and here's the beautiful finished room. Oh, also that green you'll see when I turn back around. But I did buy an additional storage thing like that. Well, all right. Oh, let's put this away. Science experiment. Let's put it away. Nope, not there. Put it down there. Yep. Anyway, I bought more storage for toys so my daughter can actually put stuff away, and it's been great. See, there it is. All right. So anyway, The Artist Way. So he was telling me about it and I downloaded it and I started listening to it and oh no, we got to deal with this. um yes, it's fine. We're going to deal with this. We're going to clean the bathroom. We're going to start packing and then we'll be done. So stay tuned, folks. And then the house will be all ready for the dogs. Oh, I really wanted to clean out under here and organize it a little bit more and declutter, but I did not have time to get to it. So maybe in a future declutter, we'll get there. But let's get back to The Artist's Way. Hashtag not sponsored, but I really like it. And I will link it if you want to buy it because I think everyone should. It's great. It's incredible. So I started listening to it and it reminded me a lot of the therapy group that I was in, actually. If you don't know, if you're new, I was a client in a therapy group for like 8 years in a row, like every single week, every Thursday night. I went to a group and it was an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think it was like 2 hours all told. And we had these assignments that we had to do. We had assignments and we would work on different areas of our life. And everyone was working on different assignments at different times, but we would all support each other. And so the Artist Way is basically like 12 weeks of assignments to help you unblock your creativity. And everyone, even if you're not an artist or you don't think of yourself as an artist, everyone does have some creativity within themselves. But we block it, right? We block it. We block ourselves because of, negative beliefs or stories that we've been told from family and teachers and whatever over the course of our lives, where we somehow go from being these like whimsical, delightful children who believe anything is possible to being more practical, kind of shutting down the more whimsical parts of ourselves and the more, like anything is possible parts of ourselves. And we just sort of go into practical mode, survival mode, overwhelm, uh, and and that's just how life goes for a lot of us, right? Especially if we've had any sort of trauma or if we've had any sort of challenges or hardships or anything like that, detours in our life that we weren't expecting or weren't planning for. And so what I'm experiencing as I'm getting into the Artist's Way and the exercises that are there, what I'm getting to is like, oh, I am choosing. I'm choosing how I live. I'm choosing how I live every single day. And I actually do have access to more capacity than I thought. I am just sort of like frittering it away by scrolling my phone. Oh, yeah, let's check on the basement, guys. So if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that the basement was a multi-week project that was absolutely crazy. And so it is now mostly cleared out. This is great. I think it's doing great, but I am going to clean it up a little bit here. Um, and oh yeah, we got a new car seat and a rolling case for it to travel. And then over here is a bunch of stuff that we're going to take on our trip with us. And there's just some randomness over here that we're going to put away. But for the most part, we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we're just going to tidy things up a little bit. And I did vacuum eventually too upstairs. Well, actually, you'll see my husband is vacuuming. Um, but anyway, so yes, I do have more capacity. I'm realizing I do have more capacity to do cool things, to connect with myself, to be more present, to be more grounded, to be happier, less angry, less bitter, less resentful. I do have the capacity for that, but not if I'm going to keep distracting myself with the internet, not if I'm going to keep scrolling on Instagram and letting my algorithm get absolutely filled with angry women who are angry at their husbands and resentful of everything that they have to do and the mental load and, the unfair distribution of labor and the home and like all of those things can be true, right? All of those things can be true, but if that's all I am taking in, right? That's all that I'm engaging in online day after day after day. Like, of course I'm going to be upset. Of course I'm going to be looking to be offended all of the time, right? Of course I'm going to feel put out when I'm the one who has to unload the dishwasher, right? As opposed to, okay, like I said earlier, I'm sitting here, I'm standing here, like I have the time to unload the dishwasher. Like, why not me? Fine. It's fine. I don't care. It's not like gonna cause me any harm. Um, so why not? Right. But I also am not helpless. I also do have an opportunity and a responsibility to help teach my son. Oh, I'm going to take all this stuff upstairs to where it belongs. But I have a responsibility and an opportunity to teach my son how to be an active participant in our home, right? Rather than just giving up and saying, "Oh, it's not worth the argument," or "Oh, it's not worth the fight," "Oh, it's not worth the extra effort to drag him into the things that he should be doing as part of a member of the household." That was another sort of like crystallizing thing on this trip is his attitude towards not participating in like general family stuff, but just participating in his own existence, right? Like taking care of his own suitcase, his own clothing, his own um earbuds, right? His own electronics, his own chargers. Like there was this is not to bash him at all, but like there were some definite moments where it was like, oh no, like we as parents are absolutely failing right now. Like this is not on him. This is what we have allowed. This is the dynamic that we have created. And so there were some moments where I thought, uh-oh, this is like we're screwed. We're screwed. But what I'm realizing now from reading this book, which is not an advice book. It has nothing to do with parenting. It has nothing to do with any of that. But what I'm realizing as I'm doing my daily journaling, my daily, like they call it morning pages, where you just write longhand, 3 full pages, just whatever pops into your head. What I'm realizing is like, I am capable. I'm capable of being a disciplined person. I am capable of holding someone else accountable. But I think for so long, I had this mistaken belief that if I could not hold myself accountable, if I could not be consistent myself with a routine or with doing things that I didn't really want to do just because that's what you do as an adult or as a responsible human, um if I couldn't do that for myself, then I had no right or no business trying to hold others accountable, including our son, unfortunately. Um, and so I know, obviously, through years of therapy, I know that that's not true. Like, I've been a manager, I'm a parent, like, you still have to. You still have to hold other people accountable, even if you feel like an imposter. Um, but I think the other piece of that puzzle of my resistance was that I didn't want to go through all the effort of setting something up, right? Like setting up an expectation for him and then knowing or fearing that I wouldn't follow through, right? Like because it would be so much effort from me to follow through on holding someone accountable and having them meet these expectations. And so now where I am at is I'm just seeing like all of these limiting beliefs that I've had about myself, about my family, about what's possible. And I'm noticing all of that and it's just like, oh, that actually doesn't have to be true, right? That does not have to continue to be true. Oh, by the way, I was so proud of myself. I threw away a sliver of soap that I normally would have just let sit there. And I actually cleaned this soap holder thing. This, by the way, this came with the house. This is from like 1990 something. This ugly shower insert and shelf and everything. Like this isn't what we would have designed if we were designing the house today. But it's what came with the house and it's fine. It's fine. But this is the beauty of having somebody like knowing someone else was going to come stay in the house because I normally would not have cleaned this out. I really wouldn't. I've been so lazy. But having someone else come here was like, oh, if some stranger was going to be in my shower, what, like, would they be comfortable with this? What's going on in here? No. So glad I cleaned it. Um, but anyway, so yes, so I had a lot of limiting beliefs. I had a lot of negative beliefs about myself, about what I'm capable of, about like the pain and discomfort of like coming head on with my children's resistance to me trying to implement anything new, right? Any new expectations. Um, and it's yeah, like sure, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. However, I cannot, in good conscience, allow the children coming out of this home to become adults who are so uh I hate to be rude, but like useless, right? Or like just not productive members of society or of the community, right? Like that's just not gonna, it's just not gonna fly, right? And so I am not doing my kids any good by making life too comfortable for them or by over functioning for them. And this is something, again, I've known on a logical level for many, many years, but now it's just like so clear, so crystal clear. I also, as a counselor, I have some clients who are in their early 20s. Mostly I work with old people, like older adults. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm so happy. To be fair, he does a lot. Like, I don't always film it. He does do a lot. But this was such a nice day to know that, like, we were working together on this. It was very cool because, and it also reduced my workload by a significant amount. The fact that he was vacuuming and taking care of that. So I appreciated that. Um, But anyway, I have some clients in their early 20s and they are lovely. They're kind, considerate, funny, interesting people, right? But they are also lacking purpose. They're lacking a sense of purpose. They're lacking a sense of drive. They're lacking grit, right? Because things have been too comfortable for them because their parents overfunctioned for them. Um, and so, I mean, these are conversations that I have with them, right, as my clients, because they have goals, right? They have things that they want, but when it comes to actually like executing the plan, they get anxious or they're unsure of themselves or they're just not, they don't have a lot of drive. They would be more comfortable doing something that was a little easier. But then the conversation we have is like, yeah, but if you take that job that's going to be easy for you, you're not going to be satisfied, right? Like you're really not going to be satisfied. Um, you're just going to feel like you're spinning your wheels, right? You're not going to have that sense of accomplishment and purpose that you're looking for. And that only comes with failure. That only comes with challenge. That only comes with discomfort, right? You never feel truly satisfied and accomplished unless you've actually had to fight for something, right? You've had to work through stuff. So sorry, this is a very philosophical video, apparently, uh, when it comes to cleaning the bathroom and the kitchen and the bedrooms. Um, but anyway, I say all of that to say I've had a lot of time to think. I've had a lot of time to reflect, and I've had a lot of time to come come to a place of choice, right? It's like, oh, my whole life is a choice. All of this is a choice. Every single day that I wake up is a choice. And the only reason, and this is the devastating part, but important, the only reason that I've been feeling so angry and so resentful and so overwhelmed and so burnt out is because I have been creating an illusion of chaos and hurry and not enough. And coming back, stepping back into my life after being away has been an entirely transformative experience the last couple days. Truly. I know it sounds crazy, but like really, really. I think like for whatever reason, the meds have kicked in, the opportunity for the reset, whatever. Um, but I just feel much more grounded than I have in a very long time. And with that, I do feel slightly detached. Like I do feel a little distant. Um, but I don't feel hurried. I don't feel like I'm in a rush. I don't feel super overwhelmed. And I don't feel put out, right? I don't feel annoyed. And I think that that is something I'm going to have to keep tabs on. I'm going to have to stay aware. I'm going to have to keep a check on it. Um, because I would like to keep going in this direction, right? But yeah, I think taking the time every morning to write, I think going on the artist dates is going to be huge. This morning my artist date was taking a walk and listening to music. Because normally when I take my morning walks, I am either listening to other YouTube videos or I'm doing research for my channel or I'm planning for my videos and my channel and I'm, planning out my day and scheming and plotting and blah, 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 blah. Um, but today I was like, I want to listen to music. And I did. And I cried and I danced and I walked and I skipped and I jumped and it was incredible. And this weekend, I'm going to go to the library and I'm going to get a fiction book. If you have any suggestions for books that you like, let me know. I haven't read a work of fiction probably in like a decade. I used to love reading when I was younger, but ever since the invention of the iPhone, I really have not forced myself or allowed myself to sit and just read a book. But now I think I might. I think I might because I would like to surround myself with more art, with more creativity to feed my own creativity, to feed myself, right? Um and just reconnect. So that is where I'm at, guys. That's where I'm at. I'm feeling much better. I feel hopeful. I also, by the way, I just went to Costco today and I filmed a video. It's going to come out next, right after this one, in the next probably couple of days. I'll probably put out 2 videos this week just to kind of catch up. Um, so, yes, I went to Costco today and I took you along with me for accountability because I am genuinely, like I said, I am determined to make changes in my life, to make meaningful changes, and stop impulsively overspending. Stop filling my pantry with a bunch of junk that nobody needs, that nobody's going to eat, that's going to get thrown out later. Any money that I spend on food, I want to be purposeful. I want the food to be food that we're going to eat. So I look out for the Costco video. You guys are my accountability partners. And spoiler alert, I think it really helped. I think it made a difference knowing that I had a plan and knowing that I had an accountability partner. So I'm very happy about that. By the way, last plug for a little while for my accountability groups. If you guys have heard about my accountability groups and you've thought about it and you have wanted to have like real-time conversation with me face to face on the interwebs, on Zoom, please, please, please click the link below and see if it feels like a right fit for you. I am starting up my accountability group on Wednesdays in August. So far, I have 2 people confirmed for my Wednesday group at 10 a.m. Central Time. And I would love to have anywhere from like, I don't know, 5 to 7 total would be great. Any more than that is really too much. So there are 5 more spots. You could be one of those 5 people. So please, please, please sign up if you want to spend time with me, if you want to be part of this new wave of reinvigoration, positivity, optimism. I'm coming out of my angry girl era. I'm aiming to no longer be a bitter Betty. And I am a participant in the group as well. Like, yes, I have some guidance. I have a workbook we're going to use. I have a bunch of printables that are included. I spent a million years making this workbook and it's really cool. There's a bunch of cool printables like budgets and inventory sheets for your fridge and your pantry. There's daytime routine, evening routine, journal prompts, you name it. It's in this 44-page printable book that you can get with the group, or you can buy it separate if you want. But I think it would be better if you're in the group. That would be cool. So if you want to join me and some other super cool people, please, please, please click the link. I would love to have you. And now we're just packing up for this trip, guys. That's what I'm doing here. There's not a lot else to do. So I think I'm going to end it here, but I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Like if you have tried and failed 1,000 times and you feel discouraged and you feel like there's no point in even trying again because you just keep failing. Please let me know in the comments below if you need encouragement because man, oh man, I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like. Every time in the past that I've tried to lose weight before I started a GLP-1, I literally, the reason my doctor prescribed the GLP-1 for me was because I didn't even ask for it, but he mentioned it because the last time I went to see him in December, he was like, how's the weight? How is your weight going? I know that was a goal you had, is to lose weight. And I literally just told him, I'm like, I give up. I give up. This is just how it's going to be. I'm just going to be overweight. I'm going to have health problems. I'm going to have low stamina. I'm going to have, high blood pressure forever because I just can't do it. I can't keep doing this over and over again, where I try really hard and then I lose the weight and then I gain it right back. Like, it's exhausting. I can't do it. Um, and so he recommended the GLP-1 and I tried it, and now my life is different, right? It made it possible. It turns out I was just missing an important hormone in my body that some other people have. And now that I have it too, I can eat normally and I can lose weight and I can feel better. And the same thing with my ADHD, right? Like, I banged my head against the wall, metaphorically, for years and years, thinking, oh my gosh, I just can't be disciplined. I just can't focus. I just can't stick to a routine. I'm just broken. It's just impossible, right? And then once I finally got the medication figured out that worked for my brain, I was now able to have the capacity to do the work that I need to do to get where I need to go. You know what I mean? So if you're somebody who's been struggling and struggling and struggling and you feel like you just keep failing, there is hope, right? Maybe it's a medication, maybe it's therapy, maybe it's my accountability group, which is not therapy, by the way. It's just for funsies. It's like peer led, it's not therapy. But maybe having another group of people that will listen to you, that will encourage you, that will cheer you on, like maybe that is what would help. I don't know. But in any case, I really am rooting for you. I know that it's possible. I have to maintain hope, because if I couldn't maintain hope, then I would have to just give up. And that's not great, right? We got to keep trying. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening to me. And I'm so excited to have you here, and hopefully to see some of you in August on Wednesday mornings, where we can chat more about it. So, thanks guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in my Costco video. Bye guys.